I'm not ready. Hold on.
Well, you know what I'm going to do?
You're going to start? Yeah. All right, go for it.
I'm doing the clap because I keep forgetting to do the clap. And I know everybody cares about the clap so much.
As long as you're aware that you are the only one that cares about it, then we're good.
I am aware.
Okay.
So
Go for it.
I only let myself down every time.
There you go.
All right, we are here to talk about the AFI. I don't remember the number, but that's fine. AFI something number will be in the description, but we're here to talk about Sophie's Choice. Excuse me, good call. Sophie's Choice, directed and written by Alan J. Pakula, adapted from William Styron's 1979 novel. Stars Meryl Streep, Kevin Kline in his feature film debut, believe it or not.
There you go.
Peter McNichol, Rita Carlin, Stephen D. Newman, Josh Mostel, who were all supporting roles, received 5 nominations for Best Actress for Streep. She won. Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Best Original Score. And that's it. Do you have a summary and some stuff?
I have a summary, which is Sophie is the survivor of Nazi concentration camps who has found a reason to live with Nathan, a sparkling, if unsteady American Jew obsessed with the Holocaust.
Yeah, but I have...
There's more than that, yeah. The only thing that I have really is that it was originally written for Liv Ullmann, and that Meryl Streep really campaigned very hard to get this role.
I had heard that she had, because she was not the Meryl that we know now at the time.
Yeah, this made her, I think, the Meryl that she was,
Yeah.
that she became. The other interesting part of this is, oh my God, I've forgotten. The other interesting part of this. Crap.
When you remember?
I will let you know.
Because it will come back.
It will, in fact, come back. Okay.
All right. I'm going to start with this one, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
And the first thing I want to acknowledge is it's not often, but there have been enough films that become part of cultural lexicon speak. Sophie's Choice has now become something. It's a real Sophie's Choice. Like, no matter which decision you make, it's a bad decision.
Exactly, yes.
So that's where this came from, obviously. And sometimes there are one-offs that don't really have anything, but just for some reason stick around. This one, I think the entire film does really build to this as a thing. The film is a very layered film,
Yep.
incredibly so. The writing of this, I think, the information, the way you learn everything, I think is just paced just enough that you sometimes question, sometimes don't, but all is revealed. You just have to trust in the film. I'm going to start there.
Okay. I remember something that I was about to say, which is this performance is apparently the number 3 top. AFI does a list of the best performances in film.
Okay.
This is the number 3 top performance.
Oh.
Is her performance of Sophie, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I'm 100% there. I don't like this movie. I'm going to come out of the gates cold. I do not like this movie, and there's a couple of reasons. First of all, is it's called Sophie's Choice. The central piece of it is about her choice. But this movie is not about Sophie. This movie is about the writer. It's about Nathan. It's about the interactions between them. But it's really very little about Sophie herself. Although this is an amazing performance by Meryl Streep, mostly because of the dialogue and the way that she says things and the accent and all of that. I do like the way the story is structured. I do like the way that, I think I understand. It's like, oh my God, the first out of the gates is there's this terrible, abusive, horrible relationship that lives above this poor writer guy. And then the next morning, it's like, oh no, wait, they're very sweet. The guy was having an off day. Okay, now I see who these people are. And then Sophie tells us about herself. We're like, oh my goodness, okay, I see what her history was. And then we're like, oh, well, wait a minute. Now the professor tells us. So I love the way everything unfolds. I love that you are always on your toes trying to figure out who these people are and what they mean. But it all a little bit comes down to me as, and?
So at the end of it, the very, very ending scene where we get the final narration, because it starts with, with the author's narration of who he was, what he was doing, and it ends with who he is now and what he's doing. So it's the bookends to the film. And when it ended and the credits finally rolled, when you see the shot of the bridge in New York, I was like, I don't think I like the structure of him being the one to tell this story. I think it should have been told in a different fashion. Then I sat with it for a little while, and I did sit with it for a little while, and recognized the only way to tell this story was to have him be the observer and be that. So
I agree.
for the film and the story they were telling, it's the only way this could have been done. And because of that, I think the film is successful in what it tries to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think there exists in this story a better way to tell this story. And I don't know exactly what that is or
Okay.
how that would be. But the film is successful in what it attempts to do. I just think there's a better way to tell the story itself.
I guess I don't know why we need to tell this story. That's what I struggled with, is like there's pieces of this story that are fascinating, but like for me, the story of the central relationship between Sophie and Nathan is really the central part of the story, and that's the part of the story that we don't get a lot of information about. The biggest question to me is, I understood why Stingo was attracted to them. I think he was a little bit in love with Sophie, and
I think it was a lot in
yeah, he was in love with Sophie, and Nathan was this charming, big, playful personality that you could see people, even not sexually, just being attracted to.
Yeah.
So you understood why he wanted to be with him. He was a writer, he observed people, he loved all kinds of different people. So I got that part of it. Why were they attracted, and again, I don't mean sexually, but why were they attracted to him? Why did they bring him into their circle?
I don't think, I'm going to attempt to answer that.
Okay.
I don't think they were. I think Kevin's character was.
And I agree with you, because Sophie was just going to go where Nathan was.
100%.
So why was Nathan?
Because Nathan had another person as an audience.
Okay,
Nathan
fair.
loved
He needed an audience.
Correct.
Yes.
He already had Sophie. She would do whatever he wanted.
Yes.
She was fully indulgent in every whim that he had, even the bad ones.
Yes.
And he needed another member to perform for.
Okay.
And that's why this guy was able to be brought into the circle, because it was another. It's from Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. An audience.
Okay, I can buy that. That's actually a really good explanation. I do buy that, because yes, and I actually had that written down, is it had to be Nathan that wanted Stingo in their relationship, because Sophie was just going to do whatever Nathan wanted.
Yes.
And that's the other piece I did not like about this movie is, again, it's called Sophie's Choice. This woman is entirely defined by the men in her life. She's defined by her father first,
Yes.
and then her husband, and then her lover, and then even to an extent her son, because it is in saving her son that she kind of destroyed herself, and now Nathan. So like she only exists as the men around her exist.
I thought about that as well, and I think I'm not sold, but I
Okay.
had the idea of changing the title to Sophie's Choices, because she does choose eventually. She doesn't choose her father. She doesn't choose the male at the Nazi camp, but she does choose Nathan, and she
Mhm.
does make certain choices in her life as things are going along.
I disagree. Nathan chose her. Because Nathan found her, Nathan brought her to the room, Nathan started making dinner, and then Nathan was just there.
Yes, and Nathan showed her the joy of life, which she had completely lost.
Okay.
That I think is the central attraction that she has, and why she just does anything for him, is because the good moments are so incredibly good.
Exactly, they are. And I do think that Kevin Kline's performance, as the good Nathan, they make you understand why he is so charming. They
Yes.
make you understand why people want to be in his orbit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll just acknowledge his performance overall. One of the things, I've always enjoyed Kevin Kline as an actor. And a lot of his roles don't necessarily go to the more dramatic side of things. They do play up the charming, good-natured, playful side of things. And he is phenomenal at this in this movie. He is such a person and lover of life. He is constantly looking for the things to just enjoy. And if you can't enjoy the moment you're in, then you just make up a new moment.
Yes, yes.
And so I see why she has the attraction, so that when as we discover later on, I don't know if it's manic or bipolar, I don't know if even those were diagnoses back then.
So Wikipedia said paranoid schizophrenic.
Okay. He
I don't know if they're right or wrong.
Has such incredible highs and such incredible lows that the lows get overshadowed by the joy that he brings. Now, this obviously also is a 1970s, 1980s lens
82-ish, I think.
that we're looking at it through. Things would be slightly different now.
Sure.
One of these might be forgivable, 2, 3, no, sorry dude, I'm out, no matter what joy you're going to give. But again, because of what we learn her life was before, with her father being in the concentration camp, the amount of joy that he gives her, I think she just latches so strongly onto that she forgives everything else.
Yeah.
And that is the glue or whatever to keep the movie moving forward. The information that we're given is given in the correct moments at the correct times, I think. You're allowed to sit in moments, and it's a while before we understand that Kevin has these issues.
Yes.
That he has been lying to everybody, that he's not, doing research at Pfizer and all of this, that he has this condition, which then, of course, explains both behaviors. Doesn't forgive it, but then explains it. And also, that's, to me, then explains why at the end she goes back to him knowing that this is probably not going to be a good end, because that's where her perceived joy is with him. So even though it could lead to something tragic, she has a stable, quiet, okay life if she stays with Stingo, but the joy is with Nathan.
I don't know that she feels the joy. I don't know that she's going to him to return for the joy. I think she's going to him because he saved her life. And she definitely feels joy sometimes with him, but I think she's going to him because she feels that she owes him.
See, I don't. I think she does it because she feels much more alive when she's with him than when she's not. Even the low moments are filled, and you can feel alive even in bad moments. I think when she's around him, she feels alive and full of life, good and bad, which she has not had up until that moment. That's my takeaway.
No, and that's a very reasonable take. I think I just could not get inside this movie. This just did not make sense to me. The story itself was her story. I think would have been compelling, but the story of them in the boarding house was less compelling.
And I will give you that during the watching of, this is only the second time I've seen it. During the watching of it, I was not invested in it. It's only after watching and having it sit with me and think about it that I then became invested in the movie, which I don't know if that's a great thing for the movie.
I remember seeing it, I think I was too young to see it when it first came out. So I saw it late 80s, early 90s, somewhere around there. And in that moment, it had been hyped to this amazing, incredible movie, and it didn't quite meet the hype at that point. And still, at this point, I'm like, I just don't. And see, I also just think it's incredibly odd. I think we read the IMDb said, that he is a half Jew who's obsessed with the concentration camps and with the Holocaust. Maybe there was 2 scenes or a throwaway couple of scenes. I didn't see a ton of that in Kevin Kline's characters. Did you?
The obsession?
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
You did? Oh, okay. All right.
There's the whole scene where you came into my inner sanctum,
yes,
and he had everything.
Okay.
Even during his, I'm just going to call them manic moments, when he's attacking them, he is justifying and using the Holocaust as part of his language in doing so.
Okay, you're right. So it's there even when he's not talking.
Yeah.
All right. Nope, you're absolutely right. I maybe just did not get this movie.
I
think it just did not speak to me, and I missed a lot of layers.
And that's one of the things that we talk about quite often on the podcast is a movie can be incredibly well crafted, make all of the right choices, have a great performance, but for whatever reason you just don't engage with it. That's not to take away from the crafting of the movie, but it absolutely can be a judgment you pass on the movie.
Right, and because I didn't engage with it, I think I missed a lot of the craft, which is fair. So, here's my question.
Sure.
Do you think this belongs in the AFI Top 100 list?
I've said this before, I'm going to say it a ton of times. We are doing this in 2026.
Yes.
And there are a lot of movies that are on the AFI list that I have not seen, so I can't comment on. There are a lot that we have that I question.
Okay.
And knowing movies that have come, because this was upped in 2010.
Yes, I think it's somewhere around there.
So there's 16 years of very good quality cinema that have come out that I think would replace a lot of the movies that are on the list. I think this one could be replaced if we were to sit down and do a massive revival. I think it is a strong quality movie that in the initial list definitely should be there. Should it be there in the revised list? That's what I kind of question. Original, I'll give you. Revised, and now, probably not.
I agree with you, and I also find it very telling and interesting that we've been doing the best pictures since 1969. We haven't seen this. The reason we're doing this episode is because we have not seen this movie yet in that package. So this was not nominated
Correct.
as one of the 5 best movies in the year it was released.
Correct.
So why? I mean, so if it wasn't chosen within the top 5 of that year, would it really be of the top 100?
Well, there's a lot of movies that are in the AFI Top 100 that were not nominated. Blade Runner, for example,
Mhm.
in the top.
Right.
And I was looking at it again the other day. There are a lot of movies that were not nominated
Oh, no,
for
I
Best
agree.
Picture.
I totally agree, but I do think that that's telling, that it's interesting that it wasn't recognized in its time.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, no, so it's more of a time factor. It's like, so it was not recognized in the moment. Like Blade Runner is now recognized
Yeah.
in a way that it wasn't when it first came out. This, I think was recognized in the moment as an amazing performance. Obviously she won the Oscar, but it wasn't even recognized as the movie itself. And now that it is more recognized, but as we're talking about it, maybe it wouldn't be the longer we go back.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with you that when you're looking at it as a movie, you can't just have a singular performance. You have to look at it as a cohesive whole. Something like The Princess Bride, for example, which was not nominated for pretty much anything when it came out, but over time people have recognized the genius and brilliance of the movie itself. So there's that factor. Are we recognizing the genius of this particular movie, or are we really just looking at a top-notch performance?
That's what I think.
And I'm going to agree. We've talked about this often during the AFIs, that some of these films are placeholders for things.
Yes.
And I think this one, now in particular, knowing that it's the top number 3 performance of all time according to AFI, that I think this is a placeholder of a performance and a moment in time.
I completely agree with you. Yes. Yep.
All right. I got nothing else.
I got nothing else.
All right, there you go.
Would you watch the movie again? Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it because it is worth your time. You're not going to lose anything by watching this. I would not put it high on your priority list. But if your eventual, I don't know what to watch, what's my list of movies that I eventually want to get to, put this on that list.
For completist,
Yes.
Yep, it's not a feel-good time.
No.
Yeah.
All right, see ya.
Bye-bye.